Unfortunately, my team wasn't up there. We lost last week. It's still hitting me. But there's still more football, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to go over strengths for each team, offense, defense. Let's go. 4 games. Let's go, baby. Football's still here. All right, first matchup of the week. Falcons taking on the Eagles. We'll start off with the Falcons first. Been playing pretty well. They beat the Panthers in Week 17 to get into the playoffs. They beat the Rams last week he went to Jared Goff. And they've been doing pretty well. Probably playing their hardest opponent of the year this week in the Eagles. This defense is crazy. They like to blitz. Their corners play up tight. Something they could do to help them win is use a sluggo route. It has worked for Derek Carr. He threw a 70-yard pass against them. Worked for Eli Manning. Threw about a 60-yard pass against them. So it's proven to work. These corners are really aggressive. They like to jump routes. So a pump fake could get them, go deep, and create a touchdown. To the defensive side, Atlanta, just keep doing what you've been doing. You covered McCaffrey well in Week 17. You covered Gurley well. Deion Jones, Tack McKinley. You're going to have a hard task this week in Jay Ajayi. So keep him covered. Nick Foles is going to be pressured a lot checking down. Let's go to the other side, the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 or 5 weeks ago, when Carson Wentz wasn't injured, I would have seen this matchup in the playoffs, giving it to the Eagles. He's played like the MVP, but he's not there, and we've seen it the last 2 weeks before the bye. Played the Raiders, only put up 13 points. Played the Cowboys, only put up 0 points, and that goes back to Nick Foles. He's their starter. He can't be the Carson Wentz. He can't be a hero. He has to be smart. Check it down to your big playmakers. Let them do the work. Jay Ajayi, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar. You can't do this. Just don't make the big mistake. Because we've seen teams that have played Atlanta, they've made the big mistake, and they've ended up losing. Panthers in Week 17 constantly overthrew players. Special teams last week for the Rams turned it over twice. Points for Atlanta. So if you don't do this, you play smart, you're definitely... The Eagles' defense will bail you out, Nick Foles. So make the smart decision. On defense, Eagles, again, they like to play aggressive, but cover up these screens. Atlanta loves these little drop back, one step, and throw it to your Mohamed Sanu or Julio Jones or Taylor Gabriel screens. So stop that, contain it. Don't let them beat you. Let Matt Ryan scramble, let him find it, because that is not his thing. He's kind of a drop back passer and likes to throw it right away. You stop that, you'll win. But it's not going to happen. Falcons have experience. They're going to end up winning this game. They know how to get to the big game. They know how to cover these receivers. Nick Foles in his first game is going to struggle, and I don't see it happening. Falcons W. All right, second game of the divisional round. Titans-Patriots, easy one. No, we got to talk about it because it could be a giant upset, probably the biggest one in playoff history. So Titans on offense, they got one thing going for them. That was the first 4 weeks for the Patriots defense. All-time worst defense in season history. They gave up so many yards, so many points, and one of those weeks was against us. But that could happen, and the one way it will is they have to get players involved like Eric Decker, Corey Davis, Delaney Walker. Their pass game struggled those first 4 weeks. If they can get back to that, Titans can go down the field. They could win this game, but they need to get these players involved. They can't just rely on Derrick Henry. They did that against the Chiefs. It can't happen again. On defense, cover Gronk. 2 words, cover Gronk. Because he will find ways to be open. Double cover him. Maybe safety Kevin Byard, leading the picks in the league. But they're going against the best quarterback of all time. And one thing the Chiefs did well against the Titans D is these gadget plays. Belichick, smartest coach of all time. If he does this, creates plays with Gronk. I know they couldn't cover Kelsey last week. They'll be fine. They'll end up winning this game. On defense, contain Mariota. He passed himself. He caught a touchdown. He threw a touchdown. Almost ran one in. So contain him. You'll be fine. I'm going to give this one to the Patriots. All right, third game of the week. First game on Sunday. Jacksonville traveling to Pittsburgh. We saw this week 6, I think it was. Jacksonville came up with an upset, probably one of their biggest franchise wins in history. No one thought they would. They were decent, but no one gave them a chance, and one way was their defense. They carried them. But this game, I think it's going to be different. Blake Bortles isn't going to be carried by this defense the whole time. He's going to have to make the big plays. He's going to have to step up for his team. We really haven't seen him have that big game yet. He's going to have it this game. And let's just go back to how Bortles does his best. He does good when on that drop back, just like Matt Ryan, drop back, throw. He doesn't like to scramble. When you see him scramble, he makes these weird throws. Even when they're like screen passes, he overthrows them, finds ways to not hit his receiver. But if you get him drop back, throwing the ball, get him back to his like rookie or second season when he was doing really well, you will do good against this team. In the touchdown he threw last week, it was a drop back pass, play action, hit his guy on the dime, only touchdown of the game, but it helped them win, and that's what they need to do more of. On defense, same plan as last time. Get Ben Roethlisberger hurried. Make him make the bad decision. Last time they hurried Big Ben a lot. He ended up throwing into double coverage. Didn't see the zone linebacker there. Got picked off 5 times. You need to do this again. Defensive ends, put your hands up. Calais Campbell. I know on 2 of the picks last time, you guys did that. You got a pick out of it. Keep it up. And you guys will end up getting another upset and winning this game. All right, to the Steelers. Week 6 was not good. Big Ben's worst game of his career, in my opinion. But he's Big Ben. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. He's looked good the last few weeks. He's going to come back from this. And one way he can get revenge against his team is scramble. One of the best in the game at scrambling. And when he does, I don't care if it's Jalen Ramsey or A.J. Boyd, the best corners in the league right now covering his receivers. He's going to find that open guy, and he's going to find a way to get this W, in my opinion. But to make sure that on defense, they need to contain Bortles. Last week, Bortles had more rushing yards than passing yards, unheard of. You never hear that. I think 3 other quarterbacks have done that in the playoffs. It's super unheard of. So if you can do this, you're going to have to rely on Bortles making the big play. And I think all 32 teams are fine with this. Bortles has not been productive this year. He's not been the guy of his rookie year, second year. So if they can do this, they'll get this win, and I've given this to the Steelers again. Experience over non-experience. All right, last matchup of the divisional round, the D round. We got the Saints versus Vikings, and last week, the Saints passing game was the show. They ended up beating a team that deserved it so much more than them. I'm talking these guys, and I'm so mad about it, but it still hits me. But we got to move on, and we can't talk about the Panthers because they're not in it anymore. So let's go. Saints played really good on offense, but it was all passing. They need to get back to their running game, especially against this Minnesota defense that is really good on the back end. Harrison Smith, Xavier Rhodes. Drew Brees is not going to be able to pass deep, throw for 370 yards like he did against the Panthers, because the fact is this defense is too good for that. And they need to start the screens. They need to get this running game involved, open holes for their Kamaras, their Ingrams, and get this going, or they're not going to end up winning this game. That defense is way too good. On defense for the Saints, they need to get to Keenum, regardless of Keenum's size. He loves to escape the pocket. He loves to do little things, which opens up receivers going down the field, Thielen, Stephon Diggs. So get him to the ground, make sure he's down, pretend he's Cam Newton, pretend he can slip away and stuff like that. And you'll end up winning. They played great in the red zone last week. They need to do that again. Held the Panthers to 4 field goals. And if they can do this week, they will end up winning this game. They're playing a high-powered Minnesota defense, heavy on the run. They need to stop that. All right, to the Vikings. We have another quarterback making his first playoff appearance, Case Keenum. He's just got to play smart. He's got to do his checkdowns. He can't make that big play. Something Carolina did last week that was pretty good. I know I'm talking about him again. It hurts even more when I talk. I got to stop talking about him. But they hit McCaffrey a lot. He was in the open field. He made big plays. If they could do this with Jerick McKinnon, a speedy running back on the Vikings, they could excel. The Saints don't like to play one-on-one, and they've got those big linebackers that can't stick with that speedy running back. So if they do that, they'll be fine. On defense, cover up Michael Thomas. He's burned so many teams. He's becoming an elite receiver with Julio Jones and Antonio Brown. Jam this guy. Don't let him extend the field, and you'll be fine. I give this one to the Saints. This would be the NFC and AFC championships if my picks are right. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Woo!